Hey everyone, this is one white guy, Les Washburn, talking to you today. There's a few things I'm discussing today, but they're all within the same kind of general area. I'm going to start a little bit going back in time. Back when I was in 8th grade, that was in a long time ago, over 40 years. I was sitting there with a friend of mine, Jimmy Merrill, and this was in our social science class. One of my favorite teachers, Erland Penley. He taught us about apartheid, he taught us about Nelson Mandela, he taught us about the injustice and inequalities in this world. Jimmy and I were talking, and we were talking about how the world will be so much better when we get older. That our lives would be better, our children's lives would be better, that the changes that are surfacing in the late 60s, early 70s would make our society better, and people in the world would get along more and have a wonderful life. For many people, those dreams that we had, that many people have, didn't come true. And I've watched over the years many presidents make decisions that have really stunned me and at times absolutely disagreed with. However, I've never been involved with a president, and I do say involved because I support our country and I will support our president even if I dislike what he does and says. But some of the things that he and his staff are doing has just rocked me. Many of you may not like Obama, but under his care, we were changing the amount of smog in the world, methane gases, and other gases, and things that would pollute our rivers, our streams, our air, our ground. He had begun the actions of putting stop to it. However, since Trump has been president, there have been some changes. Farmers now can use this pesticide that could probably cause nerve damage to us. The EPA paused a regulation on April 13th that curbs the dumping of toxic metals such as arsenic and mercury by power plants into public waterways. Wow. They say it would have destroyed jobs. Who cares about people's lives? The EPA convinces the courts to disregard and reduce toxic emissions rules from power stations. In May 23rd, a 3-month pause is put on landfill methane rules so the EPA can reconsider certain aspects of the regulation. On June 13th, the EPA announces a plan for a 2-year pause on regulations that would reduce emission leaks from oil and gas operators. The regulation acknowledges that pollution from the leak results in a disproportionate harm to children, but proposed to go ahead with the suspension of the rule anyway. And June 27th, the EPA, along with the U.S. Army, proposed to scrap the Clean Water Rule that would reverse an Obama-era move that expanded federal government protections to the drinking water of around 1/3 of all Americans. Our lives are supposed to be lived in a way that we support others and help others to change and to help our children to grow so we do have a society, we do have a community in 100 years. They're destroying our public lands, they're taking those away from us, destroying our health. These are things that have just started in this administration. And, without saying anything bad about President Trump, these are disagreements I have with him. I could be really sarcastic and say a few things, but that's not my way right now. I disagree with these. I see these as a travesty. I see these as a way to destroy our children. And this is not a race thing. This is a money thing. Everything that they're doing is geared so that companies and big business can make more money at the expense of the health and well-being of people who are not in that role. I know that some of you may disagree with me, and that's okay. I hope that some of you will agree with me and become active. I challenge you. I challenge you to think for yourself. Think about how do you really want to leave this world for your children and grandchildren? Yeah, we all have to make a living, but we also have to make a world that is good for everyone. In one place, if it's being destroyed, in other places it will be destroyed. I, for one, am trying to make this world better for my children, my hopefully grandchildren, and theirs, and so on down the line. This is One White Guy, Les Washburn, signing off. Hopefully you liked what I said. Please like me. Comments are always welcome. I wish to have your comments. I want to know what you're thinking so that we can have a dialogue. I may not always agree, and that's okay. But the fact that I'm willing to hear you, I think, is important. Maybe you can convince me of something that I have a bias against. I don't know. And, of course, visit us on Twitter, on Facebook, at our Facebook page, Washburn Thomas Associates, our website, Washburn Thomas Associates. This is One White Guy signing off. Peace.